I'll cover your side, all right? 1, 2, 3. Hey everybody, welcome to this video. Today we're going to do something a little bit different than normal. We're going to take a look at what I think is a pretty realistic loadout, but maybe my friend here will correct me. This is the early Vietnam USGI infantry, Army infantry loadout with my friend here, Con6M. Feel free to subscribe to his channel, link in the description. And he's going to give us a rundown on what I think is a loadout that it's really cool and it's actually quite useful for airsoft, but I don't see it very frequently on many airsoft fields. At my field, him and a couple other guys, the only guys I see with it. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to him. He'll explain to you some more of his loadout.
All right, this is a U.S. Army infantry loadout from mid to late war Vietnam. You can tell that because I'm wearing girdle pants, green dominant, and that was more of a common practice later in the war when the camouflage started being issued to GIs. My weapon of choice here is the JG M16. I've had this thing for a couple of years now. I use short Vietnam-style magazines. They're mid-caps because side caps are pretty dumb in my opinion. I keep most of my ammo on bandoliers or the mag pouches, the M56 universal magazine pouches. I have 5 of these mid-cap 20 rounders, and then I have 2 of these. Let's see, I'll start from the top and I'll go down to the bottom. On my head is an M1 steel pot helmet. This was what the Americans used in World War II up until, I guess, early, like right before Desert Storm. This helmet in particular is actually kind of a Frankenstein of different things. The liner is an M1C paratrooper liner. It's like a World War II one refurbished with some Korean War parts, I think. The shell is 1952. It's made in Belgium.
What do you have on the side of the helmet?
On the side of the helmet, I have a helmet band on the outside with the cat eyes turned around because they didn't have those in Vietnam. On the side, I've got a bottle of reproduction insect repellent from Vietnam. It's I got water in there to look like insect repellent just so there are no dangerous chemicals up by my head. On the front here, I've got a Specialist 4 rank insignia pin instead of having patches on your shoulder. This is more of like a 1968 impression, so I've got a Hubert Humphrey pin because he was the guy who ran against Richard Nixon. Yeah, say what you will. I've got a packet of sea ration coffee creamer, and on the side of the helmet I got only one piece of written graffiti. It's kind of blue. It's a Miles Davis album. Okay, this is a 3rd pattern jungle jacket. This particular jacket is from 1970. They started issuing these mid-war. They started out with Citeen OG-107 uniforms, which are really hot, and they didn't have slanted pockets, so they switched to these. Had a couple different patterns. The first pattern had exposed buttons and epaulets on the top, and the second pattern did away with the open buttons, and the 3rd pattern did away with the epaulets.
And you wear that jacket every time you run in the field?
Yeah, every single time. And I even wear it off the field too. It's a really great casual jacket with no patches, of course.
Why don't you just talk about the rifle now, what version it is also? Okay,
this is also a Frankenstein of different versions. It's the JG one. It's not completely accurate. Like it's got this ring. The Delta ring is more of an A2 and later version, and it's got the this part of the
For those of you that don't know, the M16 was developed into a, I'm sure you know this obviously, the M16 was developed into it had a couple different iterations. The A1 had the smooth grip and the wire cutter flash hider, but it didn't have a Delta ring. And it also didn't have a, it had a fixed sight like this one, but the A2 had the Delta ring and a machining parts on the lower receiver for strengthening bits. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this has a 3-prong flash hider. That's more of an early war thing with the XM16E1. I've got a GI issue sling on it. I think it's an M1 carbine sling. They would have used the same sling for a long time though, so take off the helmet. It's getting a little hot. I carry a bandolier. It's a 7-pocket bandolier. They would usually stuff them. They'd wear 2 of them. Usually I only have 1.
Is that where you primarily use for your mag pouches?
Sometimes.
Okay.
There's a mood for them. I've got M56 suspenders. I think these are the long or regular size. I don't know, haven't looked at it in a while. Most of this stuff is M56. M67 was the nylon set that came later in the war, and Alice came after that, which is also nylon. But yeah, anyone who uses Alice in their Vietnam impression is incorrect, unless they're doing like evacuation of the American Embassy in Saigon in 1975. I've got a first aid compass pouch up on my left shoulder. Inside of that, just to stuff it, I've got a World War II Carlisle bandage, unopened. I don't plan on opening it. I have another pouch on my belt. This has my kill rag for Airsoft, pretty useful pouch. And then on this side, I have an M1911 magazine pouch. This one is mid-late 80s dated, but it's the same exact model. I've got my two universal magazine pouches. These were designed for the M14. To replace the magazine pouches, like the separate ones for the Thompson, the BAR, the Garand, the carbine, and you could fit 2 of the M14 magazines in here. You can fit 3 M16 magazines in them. On the back, I've got 2 M56 canteen covers. This one is the second pattern, and this one's the first pattern. This one, you can tell it's second pattern because it has a nylon trim on it. That was done starting in 1965, I believe, in 1966. I have plastic canteens. I don't use 60s dated canteens. And on the very back, this is my tribute to Forrest Gump. I have a World War II 1945 dated jungle first aid kit.
That's a gas mask pouch?
This is a gas mask bag. This is the M17. The later one is the M17A1. Not too much of a difference, honestly. Usually I just put BBs in here, or right now I have my M1911 in here.
That is an A1, so it would be accurate in Vietnam.
Yes, it's got the right grips. And this is an Arvin rucksack, but this was made in the U.S., issued to South Vietnamese troops. I have an M56 entrenching tool cover with a smaller folding shovel in there. Moving down, I've got my Erdl combat pants.
Erdl, for those who don't know, is the precursor to M82 Woodland.
Yes.
Which was more faded and more green dominant, generally.
Yes, these are the green dominant versus the
brown dominant like this.
There are also brown dominant ones. They're also called lowlands and highlands.
Yeah.
The brown dominant was more seen in the central highlands in central Vietnam, while the lowland green dominant was more like the Mekong Delta. On my feet, I've got Rothko jungle boots. They get the job done. They look the part from the distance.
So right now you've de-kitted a little bit, and you want to talk about the things you actually use in Airsoft, or how practical the kit ends up being in real life when you run.
I've taken off the rucksack, I've taken off the gas mask bag. It's a lot less weight, so I can run more or less. I still have to hold my helmet down. I don't use chin straps or anything. I don't rock my bandoliers that often in smaller TPD type of place, because those also flop around a lot. This is not the most practical Airsoft setup.
Your loadout has all the aspects of what a modern loadout should have. It has all the essentials, but it demonstrates the difference in, but I think the difference in philosophy of making a loadout. You can have someone like me who has modern kit, like I have M82 Woodland tops and bottoms, and then I wear either web gear, a battle belt, or a plate carrier, and I have decked out guns, like I have a Polar Star and I have an SSG-24. Or you could have someone like my friend here who has a decked out kit, which is a pretty good impression loadout, a very good impression loadout, I would say, and still has fully functional guns and a sidearm, and everything gets the job done just as well as any modern loadout would.
Yeah, any lack of skill is on my part, not the kit. But yeah, this kit is still decent enough to stay at least a little bit relevant out in the field. Like, it doesn't hinder me too much. I'm sure I'd be able to run faster with a modern kit, but for me, it's more about the look. Also, Marpat's kind of dumb, so I'm just saying.
Hashtag Marpat dumb.
It looks more tan than green from the distance.
In our field, Marpat is considered green on our field.
It is considered green on our field.
It's completely ridiculous. The first time I went airsofting with him,
I friendly fired 2 different Marpat people.
Within like a minute of each other. In a field.
They look tan.
Well, that's going to conclude this gear review. Thank you all very much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, my gear recommendation for today is the KWC 1911 by Elite Force or Cybergun like his. And what's the music recommendation, Bill? What do you think?
Fortunate Son, CCR.
Fortunate Sons by what?
CCR.
By CCR. Fortunate Sons by CCR. You can find the links in the cards here or in the description down below. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks to my friend here for coming on the channel, and hope you all have a great day. Take care.